The female pilot in the turret suddenly spotted enemy fighter planes emerging from the clouds below. She immediately requested permission to open fire, but the captain denied her request. Seeing the enemy planes launching an attack, the pilot quickly grabbed the machine gun and fired wildly at them. After successfully shooting down the enemy planes, the pilot turned around and noticed a dark shadow flash beneath the wing. She hurriedly reported the situation to the captain, but he thought it was just her illusion. For safety's sake, the captain asked the pilot to swap positions with the gunner. However, just as the pilot was about to open the hatch, the handle unexpectedly broke, and the strap on the auxiliary lock snapped, leaving the hatch unable to be opened from the inside. The crew tried to pry open the hatch from above, but not only did they fail, they also damaged the electrical circuits. At that moment, the pilot suddenly found a chewed-up bolt, which indicated that the monster she'd seen wasn't an illusion. She told the captain again that they were being targeted by a monster, but the crew didn't believe her at all. This made the pilot's emotions break down instantly. As she was thinking about how to get out of this predicament, she noticed an enemy reconnaissance plane flying through the clouds. Before she could report it to the captain, the hatch of the ball turret was suddenly opened, and the monster attacked the pilot. Fortunately, the pilot reacted quickly and punched the monster out of the turret, then immediately closed the hatch. Seeing the monster crawling back, she couldn't find the chewed-up bolt. To survive, she had to use her finger as a makeshift bolt and then pulled out her pistol, ready to fight back. But the monster smashed the hatch glass and kept pulling at the hatch with its claws. The pilot's finger was instantly pulled off, and the gun fell down. She had no choice but to endure the pain, pick up the pistol, and pull the trigger at the monster. The monster was hit by the bullets and quickly left the hatch. The pilot hurriedly found the bolt and used it to lock the hatch instead of her finger. Looking at her bent finger, the pilot had to forcefully straighten it in pain. The crew above heard the gunshots and kept calling the pilot through the headset. At that moment, the pilot saw the monster crawl to the belly of the bomber and dismantle the plane's hydraulic system. When the crew saw the monster, they finally believed the pilot's words, but the captain thought the monster's appearance must have been caused by her suitcase. However, before the pilot could explain, the crew noticed 3 enemy planes approaching rapidly, and at that very moment, the monster crawled into the bomber. Screams from the crew immediately came through the headset, and then the next second, she saw the monster carrying the suitcase out of the cabin. Seeing this, the pilot opened the turret hatch, raised her pistol, and fired wildly at the monster. The monster was scared and ran back into the bomber, leaving the suitcase outside the cabin. The pilot had no choice but to climb out of the turret, use her arm strength to grip the bullet holes on the fuselage, and successfully climb under the bomber to remove an iron pipe. Hanging upside down under the bomber, she used the iron pipe to hook the suitcase back. Then she hung the suitcase on herself and climbed back into the cabin by hand along the underside of the fuselage. But just as she put down the suitcase, the pilot accidentally fell out of the plane.